Hey everybody, and welcome back to Live Between Paychecks Kitchen. I'm Oz, Jack and Larry still in Lake Jackson, so we're still in my little galley kitchen, and we're going to do another one. This one I've been wanting to do, especially when I found this super cheap lamb stuff, so it's going to be complicated, but we'll want to jump into it. Before we do, be sure to like, share, subscribe, do all the YouTube stuff, ring the little notification bell to get heads up when we do these as close to Tuesdays and Fridays as possible. There's a link down the doobly for our merch, and let's just get into the food. There's a lot of stuff in this one. I don't want to take a lot of your time. Alright, we're going to start this off with two different things. This is going to be your Tzatziki sauce stuff, and we'll get into the gyro stuff you need later. So you're going to need some plain yogurt. Plain Greek yogurt, you're going to need 8 ounces of it. Don't get this stuff with the fruit, or you'll have a bad time. You're only going to need half a cucumber, a little bit of olive oil, some lemon juice, a couple of cloves of garlic. I like the fresh stuff. And this, speaking of which, I like the fresh dill. You can use the dry stuff, that's fine. And then you're going to need salt and pepper. So that's all going to go into our sauce stuff, and then everything for your gyro. He's going to lettuce, tomato, jalapeno because Texas, a little bit of red onion. You're going to need some pita. Now I picked this up at HEB. You can get it at like fresh bakeries and stuff. I just didn't have any local that were open this late. And you're going to get some lamb shoulder here. You can use any kind of meat, but I got this right at the end of the day, and it was like $2. It was half price. It was like $4, so I got it at 2. So that really helped me out. I got 2 of those. And so let's just jump into it. So first things first, it calls for 2 cloves of garlic, and you need to peel those, and then you're going to wash our veg. Always wash your vegetables. So we got our garlic nice and skinned, but you got your cucumber. So get you a peeler, and just peel that dark hide right off the back of it for just half of it. I do it before I cut it just because I have a handle to hold on to it while I do it. So once you get that, get you a nice sharp knife. Shout out to Andy. And you're going to just try to mince this. You want to cut it down as small as possible. So I take it, do it long ways if I can, and then try to stack it all back up and do it the other way. Now, I'll go ahead and cover this now. I've had people, especially my knight, old Chewy, always yelling at me because I'm not curling my fingers under while I'm doing this, but when I do that, it covers everything from the camera. I know my angles are usually pretty bad, especially since I'm shooting it from the side, but I'm trying to show you what I'm doing with the knife. It doesn't have to be pretty. It doesn't have to be perfect. That's the good thing about cooking. So just get in here, cut it down, and run it over as fast as you can. You don't have to be fast. Just as many times as you can to cut it down into smaller pieces. I don't mind the chunkier stuff. I've seen people that have used like a grater and grated it down. Oh, and remember, if you're taking the stuff off of your knife, use one finger. Makes it just look fancier. That's all it is. Garlic, same thing. You're just going to line it up and just cut it as small as possible. Go over it many, many times, just as small as you can, and just get it to the side. Now, your dill, you want to take the stems out of them. So you go ahead and just pull all these little branches off. I like to pretend I'm a giant, just like, yeah, take that tree. Like Paul Bunyan, you got nothing on me here. Check this out. So you want about 2 or 3 stems of your dill. Okay, so it's anywhere between 2 teaspoons and 1 tablespoon. So I'm going to fold this up into about 1 tablespoon. I really like the smell of dill. This just smells amazing while I'm doing this right here. And I'm a big fan of dill and this stuff. Traditionally, it's usually just like the 2 teaspoons, especially if you're using the fresh stuff. 1 if you're using dried. So get you a nice bowl and go ahead and put this in here once everything's, nice and minced up as best you can. Remember, it does not have to be perfect, man. Just do your best. Okay, I'm not going to shout at you for anything else. A tablespoon of lemon juice. You want to go ahead and throw that in here. And then of your olive oil. It doesn't have to be the extra virgin stuff, especially this promiscuous olive oil we got running around here. And then half a teaspoon of salt and pepper. Go ahead and mix that in there. So this calls for 8 ounces of the yogurt. Each one of these is 5. So I couldn't find that it was just straight 8 that was the plain stuff that didn't have fruit in it. So I just try to judge that as best you can. All right. Or because we put so much. Oh, and just heads up, this is the spatula from our Living Between Paychecks line. Again, link down the doobly-doo. So you can't just go ahead and put all 10 in there because, I did kind of get some extra dill and garlic in there because I like both. But go ahead and give that a nice mix, and then cover it and just put it in the fridge while we're going to do the rest of it. Don't have to cover it. You can just put it in the fridge. Now, a lot of this fruit and veg, again, for dressing it, I'm not going to cook it, but I'm going to go ahead and prep it beforehand so I don't have meat cooling on me while I'm trying to do this. Get you some red onion, just pop some rings. So cut half of it or a quarter of it off, cut the end of it off. Pull all this little onion skin, unless you're trying to make paper or whatever you're doing. Go ahead and pull that onion skin off, and then just pop them out. Make little rings out of it. Blam, easy. Speaking of which, I need to do onion rings for this show. I think that'd be fun. I think I've done shrimp and grits 3 times and no onion rings whatsoever. So we'll have to get into that. So yeah, just pop these out, set them to the side. If they're a little thick, that's fine. If you need some more, cut some more. and push those aside. Again, tomato, make sure it's nice and washed. Get that done. Cut off the end with the green bit. You don't need to use that, but I'll cut it in half. Flip it over, and then just cut these into rings. I usually don't cut my tomatoes. They're very small. I don't mind them being big, especially in these the gyros or whatever. Now lettuce, you can get it and cut it yourself. I just bought the shredded stuff, just the iceberg or whatever, just to cut it down. And then if you're gonna add the jalapeno, because like I did, because it's Texas, just go ahead and cut those in rings as well. Now your lamb shoulders is nice, and make sure they're nice and thawed, but they have a bone in them, so using that great big knife is kind of hard. So I get some of my small paring knives, which I'm not a professional at this, y'all. Just remember this. So I like the little hook nose one, just kind of dig around that bone that's in there. So just kind of cut it in there as best you can. And you need to send these to Andy to get them sharpened up a little bit. But go ahead and try to cut all these little pieces out from around the bone. Okay, doesn't have to be big. Doesn't have to be big strips for this. As a matter of fact, I like smaller pieces, especially since it's lamb, so it's a small critter. And then there's these bones and stuff. So go ahead and pull as much as you can. Cut the rest of it just in strips and small pieces, and you're set. Get you a medium-sized thing, put it at medium-high, right? So about at a 6 out of 9. Give it a little bit of pan lotion, about a tablespoon or so. Let that warm up. Once it's warm, oh, listen to it. Like, that's awesome, right? So go ahead and put your meat in there. Now we're going to use our wooden spoon, so we don't have any ancestors coming to get us. Put it down, put the meat on the middle, as we always say, and then, you want to brown this. It's going to take a while. It's going to start looking gray, then it's going to start turning a light brown, but you want it where it gets that dark brown, almost char to it. I'm watching Dan Larson for Secret Galaxy talk about some stuff. That is really out of context. I did not mean to put that line out there alone. That was a joke. He was not meaning that. He said everyone's a whatever. So once you start getting this brown in here, that's what you're going to look for in your meat. Okay. Get that in there. Go ahead and kill the heat, and then just move it off the fire. So I like to do these when they're warm, so I just kind of dress them just as soon as that meat's done, okay? Like I said, just brown on the outside and you're done. So your pita, if you buy it from the store, it's not cut. It's, you can separate it, but I just take a knife, cut off a corner, and then save that for the extra tzatziki sauce that's later. But go ahead and use a knife. Sorry, this is out of camera. I was not paying attention. I was worried I was going to cut myself with one hand or burn myself with the burner still being hot. So just use a knife and just make sure that it's knocked open. Most of them will just open immediately because you just cut it open and it's a big hollow piece of bread, which is nice. But like I said, I just use the back end or the sharp end, depending on how stuck it is, and then just make it where it's a little pocket, like Jack in the Box used to make. Yeah, I'm that old. All right, so get you a little bit of your tzatziki here, or a lot. It's up to you. And then just kind of dress it in there. Then I stuff all my vegetables in there, a couple of pieces of onion, some lettuce and tomato, right? And just boom, boom, boom. This is a classic one. I'm not going to torture you with the jalapeno because that's completely optional. And to be quite frank, I forgot it in the first ones. The second ones I had, but I didn't have pictures of them. So that's the thing. So once you get your vegetables in there, do your meat. Again, like I said, I like doing this while it's warm. Use your spoon to kind of widen it out, make sure there's room for everything. And don't worry if it starts to rip at the front or it starts to rip at the edges or whatever. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's going to taste amazing once you get it in there. So don't worry about it too much. And again, it's kind of like the first pancake. The first one's always kind of wonky anyway because you're making sure the heat's and stuff perfect. So yeah, you hold it like this, damn, perfect. And then top it with a little bit more of that tzatziki. Look, I did look up online how to say tzatziki because I was always terrified I was saying it wrong or saying it like a stupid white guy. Like, that happens. So I apologize for if I said it wrong. If I'm still saying it wrong, that's what Google told me how to pronounce it. But this is great. This made 4 of these all total. So if you are looking for something for a small family or just one big guy by yourself to eat these, this is really good. You can, I think you can just swap out any meat because, like I said, I didn't really season it one way or the other because I had the sauce and everything here and I don't want to overpower it. So you could use, chicken, pork, beef, whatever, especially since lamb is something that a lot of people are into because it's a young animal, whatever. I understand. Put something else in it, man. That would be good. I'd love to look into a vegan or vegetarian option of this, but the tzatziki makes it. This is excellent. You gotta try this stuff, man. I didn't try it until I was older, and man, I'm almost addicted to it now. And save some of that leftover pita bread to put it in that sauce too. And there you have it, folks. That turned out really well. That is very good. That's a lot more sauce than just for the little bit of meat and stuff we have. But man, I got leftover pita. I'm just gonna be eating that. Yeah, you can just put that on just about anything. But that was really good. If you do it differently, you want to tell me how wrong I was, or how wrong I was to do that, or if I should revisit it and try it again, let me know. Put it down in the comments. That's where they're there for. You can also find us on social media. We're Facebook, Pinterest, Patreon, all those at Live Between Paychecks Kitchen. So you can find me over there. Tell me how horrible we are. We're also at Instagram at Live Between. Had to shorten it there. We're Live Between Paychecks Kitchen on all the rest of them. Me personally, if you want to insult me or attack me personally, or just tell me how awesome I am, which is really rare, don't get that a lot, but if you want to do that, I'm also on all of those, and I'm also on Twitter and over on TikTok. But I'm generally just talking action figures, miniature painting, gym stuff, just general nerd stuff. Just let me know. I'll see you all next time. Y'all please be safe. This food is so good. I'm gonna go eat some more. Be good.